Hey, 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 it's good to see everyone. I know I said I was coming back to YouTube, and I did mean it. Life has just been busy, as you guys, I'm sure, are more than well aware of with COVID-19 and all that. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. If not, I hope you get better soon. Here it is, the Perth gameplay that I promised you. This was one of those games that I had a few minutes here and I was like, I'm just gonna jump in, play my favorite ship. I owe the community a video, and this actually ended up being one of the most interesting games I've had lately. Not to spoil it too much, but the ending is very unexpected. Anyway, I won't lie, the start starts off very, very slow. It's a little unfortunate like that, so we'll just let that run in the background as I mention and talk about some bits and pieces that have been going on to start with. With it being May is my favorite time of the year on stream because it is the time of the year that we fundraise for St. Jude Children's Hospital. At the time of recording, we're about at $3,800 of my $5,000 goal, which we've already given away a set of Omen peripherals thanks to our sponsor. We are coming up and actually starting a giveaway of a Intel i9K processor very soon, and potentially giving away a gaming chair as well. For those unfamiliar with St. Jude Children's Hospital, it is a hospital that is dedicated to the cure for childhood cancer and disease. They never charge the family or the child for any of the care that they receive, and they are completely ran off donations. It costs $2 million to run the hospital per day, and that's why every May I put significant effort behind fundraising for the cause. If you're interested in helping us out, I will drop the link in the chat below. On to World of Warships goodies. What's been happening there? Well, we have IL Grey releasing a bunch of interesting videos regarding this, that, and the other to do with both World of Warships kind of community, and I guess World of Warships the game. Do we have a scorned ex-employee, or is Earl just letting off some steam? He does raise some really good points in some of his videos. Others, a little bit more up to speculation, but he is an old friend of mine and I would recommend checking out some of his videos. In terms of content for World of Warships, with update 9.4, we're seeing the release, or the early access release, of the Soviet, yes, another Russian line, Soviet split cruisers, with the full release coming in 9.5. 9.4 also is bringing us submarines for the first time in live client. However, it is still within the restricted game mode that is starting on the 27th of May, so coming up here this week. How are submarines at the moment? Honestly, I haven't tested them since very early on. I'm not one of those people who really enjoys playing heavily work in progress content. I'd much rather see it kind of at its almost final stage and give my verdict then, but that will be interesting to say the least. With 9.4, we also have ranked season, whatever the hell we're up to now, tier 7, full season this time around, so that's a good way to kind of sink some time. I think that's what I'm going to be doing this Memorial Day weekend, is trying to rank out in those 3 days as we work on some giveaways for, again, the St. Jude charity, as I mentioned. We are a while off 9.5 just yet, but with 9.5 is coming what was, let's say over Christmas, a very, very controversial World of Warships feature, is the nicest and politest way to put it. Also known as World of Warships Community Manager's Headache 101, the dockyard feature is making its return. However, it does look like majority of lessons have been learned, with more reasonable directives for the time commitment, better staging of the event, that is, focus on what is the main reward being the Graf Spee, and not so much the knock-on or the follow-on reward that is the Odin. I've been thinking about doing a series on looking at those directives and how best to grind them. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comments below if that's something you would like to see, how I would suggest approaching it to make the most bang for your buck, aka the most progress for your time. Because I feel like a lot of people don't know the best way to stack and support themselves in doing those missions, which is why they end up taking so long. Just quickly stepping back to the gameplay here. As you can see, I'm doing the trolleys Perth thing. I'm sitting behind an island. I'm throwing HE. I'm setting stuff on fire. Mainly just supporting this side so that we don't end up with a big push over here. So far, our team's killed 2. We've killed 1. It's a pretty standard Perth game so far. Nothing really that notable. Considering how dull the gameplay is over the next minute or two, I'm going to go ahead and speed through this for you guys. All I'm pretty much doing is sitting behind this rock and kind of doing the campy HE spam thing that everyone loves oh so much. So, standard Perth play. If you've never played a Perth before, it's if you've got smoke, you crawl around it at going quarter speed out in the open, shooting at whatever the hell you want to. As soon as your smoke goes, you either get at max range and use your spotter plane, or you sit behind an island and kind of throw what you can over it. At this point, though, right at this moment, is when I look up and I go, what the hell has happened? As you can see, in the space of a few moments, well, minutes, I guess, considering I sped up time and all that good stuff, we've gone from being 1 ship down to now being 5 ships down in comparison to their 2. And there goes the 6th one. At this point, and you know what? Let's take the 7th one while we're at it. At this point, normally a lot of players are like, well, this game's gone. No point sticking it out. I might as well, just kind of damage farm and kind of get something for the game and try not to lose too much money or try and save my stats in another way. I was thinking similarly, particularly now that the 8th ship is down. It is 4 of us versus 10 of them. Just let that sink in. But while you do that, take a look at the minimap. As you can see, I'm holding this lone southeast cap, while the other 3 ships are out on the 2, 3, and I think 4-ish line defending the other 2. Yeah, we have cap advantage. And while we definitely don't have point advantage, with the positioning of their team, we're actually in an advantageous position in that the fact that we're down in points isn't the end of the world, considering we're holding 2, and the 3rd one we're preventing and resetting being capped. Can we last this out? I'm a little concerned. I know there's 3 ships here around on this cap with me. We've got the DD, there's a cruiser, and there is a battleship out here. And I'm a lone little perf while, yes, I still have a lot of my health. I have no means for spotting since the CV is too busy supporting the 2 battleships. I have hydro and I have smoke. So if I'm pushing out, I need to be very cautious of the fact that I have to be careful with my spotting because I don't have a whole lot of it, particularly with my plane being going down. But I need to try and retain and hold this point for as long as possible to give my team some reprieve. Let's see how this plays out for me. We obviously see that we have that smoke from their destroyer. We just lost another ship. It is now 3-9. Yeah, I don't like these odds either. Anyway, their DD has smoked and is now out spotting me. The one saving grace I have for this side, and probably my only comfort factor in being able to push this at all, is the fact that I know, besides the cruiser and the La Glacianaire, the Dunkirk and the DD are pretty low on health. I have smoke, I have hydro. If they're going to keep shooting at me, that's going to keep their bloom up, which will still give me room to shoot at them. And that's kind of my tactic here. I decide to smoke up. I've got this Dunkirk who has been periodically shooting at me. I'm going to try and keep him lit, keep him on fire, and try and keep him shooting at me, or at least kind of pop-shotting me or attempting to shoot my smoke, and kind of hope and somewhat pray that he isn't very good at smoke shooting, which we'll see how that goes. Either way, with him shooting, that keeps his detection up for me, and I decide to just kind of keep throwing some shells at him. Even when he goes dark, he's not a particularly fast ship. He's going to stay pointed in, given his guns are on the front of his ship. So I have a pretty fair idea of where he's going to go. Every time he does shoot at me, and I felt this was extremely funny when I watch back the replay, every time his shells come in towards me, I'm zooming out and trying to slightly tweak the navigation of my ship to avoid those incoming shells. Those good old WASD hacks that everyone complains about. Anyway, here it is. The biggest threat to me, the Dunkirk, is down under that 10k. We have him on fire. We have a rough idea where he is, particularly with him keep shooting at us. We're going to be able to get him out there, which gives us quite a bit of reprieve on this side. Little Garcian Air has retreated and has gone dark for quite a while. We know that the DD is there, but the DD is also quite low, so we've got room to move. Now, keeping an eye on the bloom fire, you've got 4 and a bit every time I fire. I do need to be mindful as the Dunkirk moves in towards me that I am not firing and giving up my detection once he crosses that, because if he crosses that threshold after I fire, I'm detected and I'm most likely dead. But we keep chipping away. There's another fire, and that will be him more or less gone at this point. My ally throwing some shells in. Now, taking a look back at the board, there is still the 3 of us, the CV, the Fuso, and myself. All versus another, well, that's 7 of them on their side. So odds are still not on our favor, but they're getting better. Here we go. The DD going down. That will help with the metal fish coming in towards me. Getting him off the board also removes one of the last threats on this side with the Glacian Air, as you guys can see, moving back up and over towards the rest of his teammate. However, by this point, yeah, I've caught the CV's attention and it's time to just dodge. Yep. I can do it now. I can make the memes. I can make the jokes too now. So, Anyway, good thing about the Perth is it's actually got, I don't want to say decent. I don't want to say good because that's not accurate. It's got respectable. There we go. Respectable AA in that it will usually do enough, particularly if you're paying attention to setting your priority sides, to get rid of a lot of the planes that are going to cause you the issues. At this point, we have lost that A cap, unfortunately. So, although we had held 2 and prevented 1 for quite a while and ticked our points back up, with the teams now being heavily uneven and the caps being even, it is again swaying against our favor. But the cap up above me, B cap, I believe, is open for the taking. So it is a good time for us to kind of head that way. Catching this cruiser in the middle definitely helps us as well in terms of evening the odds in our favor. While I do take quite a bit of chunking damage through here, there's no real way for me to hide from this guy, and it's better I just try and get him out for the team than let him cut across mid and try and take this cap or the other cap back from me. I continue to just dodge by fluctuating my speed and my turning, something that the Perth is actually relatively quite good at. I have another 33-ish seconds until my smoke comes back up and I can do a proper hide from planes, but until then it's all about doing the dance. And now am I not only doing it with the planes against me, I'm also doing it with the incoming shells from the enemy force, kind of traversing it down towards that, I think that one's C cap. No, B cap, sorry, B cap. Anyway, planes are going down. I'm trying to dodge, limited health, under 10k at this point. Once these planes go down though, I will have a little bit of reprieve. My smoke is back up and I do have my spotter plane. And those ships across the map for me are pretty low health too. So now's a good time to pop that smoke. I'm in that cap so I can cap it uncontested and continue to help my team with the points situation, because honestly, we're not going to win it on pure force. We have to rely on points and playing the game and playing the objective, which is something so many players decide that just isn't worth it for them nowadays. They feel like the game's been swung too far one way or another, and they're not really willing to put in the effort to win it via the other means available. So anyway, CV is getting some lucky kind of chip shots here and there, but with this range from the spotter plane, which is again very nice perk of the Perth, and one of the reasons I really like this ship is there's just so many ways to play it. It's not a particularly OP ship, but it can be OP if you're playing it correctly. Anyway, the goal is here. Let's try and set some fires. Let's rotate the fires between these 2 ships, and let's try and get this capped out, because it's kind of all we can really do to help support the team. Me going in guns a-blazing is not going to work. My biggest strength and the biggest thing I can offer my team is get this cap and try and help with dots. That's what I got going for me. Do have one of those battleships on fire, so I do swap over to the other one. Cap ticking down. The CV is still actively hunting and just kind of fishing in the dark there for me with planes By shooting into these two battleships, they have no line of sight of me over that island, which is quite nice. And between the two of these guys, I am actually able to keep resetting that cap. If you check down at the minimap, both of our remaining two ships, the CV and our other battleship, are both on the J line, so they are in no way, shape, manner, or form in a position to really do heavy contesting of a cap. The best we can do is keep them reset and use that time when they are getting reset to tick up our points and tick down the clock and try and survive that way. I'd like to remind you guys, we have gone from a 3-9 situation down to a 3-4 situation. Things are looking up, and we've just evened the board now. But I am extremely low on health, and this CV is kind of getting everyone's revenge for all the time that I took my CVs out on players. I feel like I'm getting it back right now. I'm letting the team know that, well, if they didn't already, I'm kind of at the end of my lifespan here, needing to move behind these islands as those two ships come around the corner, as they will be able to start getting shots on me. Get one last reset, one last fire over there, almost at 100k damage, letting the team know, go, hey, I'm on my way out. No health, no planes, no support. It's time to say goodbye pretty soon. But that's okay. We've honestly done what we needed to for the team. Again, it's not always about the most damage. It's not about the most kills. It's, can you play the objective to win the game for the team? Which honestly, we've done a really good job of here. Had I had some sort of aerial support or another teammate, didn't even need to be the CV bringing me fighter planes, another teammate to help support, I probably could have lasted through these CV onslaughts, but at that point, just too little health. The enemy is back in the lead with 2v3 now. But look at that points. Over 940 odd compared to their 712. With under 2 minutes left on the clock. All we need to do is survive. Now, this Fuso's health is definitely not looking good, particularly now that the CV's attention is off me. He is now going to become primary target for him. And even at tier 6, the torpedo planes can take quite a bit of damage off quickly. And particularly as he forces him to go broadside to that other battleship, it's not looking good for him right now. But all is not lost. We still have the CV, who has, while he did run to the end of the map, at 921 points to their 773, the only way they can win with less than a minute on the clock is to kill that CV. And there's no way they can do it. We played the objective, and we won. Once again, guys, thank you for joining us. Make sure you leave a comment below on what ship video you would like to see next. Will it be the Gade or the Yoshino? Two ships I've recently had some great games in. Make sure you hit that sub button and drop us a like on Twitch. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.